Okay. Well, good morning, everybody. Hope this day finds you well. And it's a Friday morning. It's actually Friday. See, normally I don't work on Fridays, but I changed the schedule. So it's actually Friday morning. Normally my Fridays are on Thursdays, but today is actually Friday, and I'm here. I'm here to edutain you this morning. Edutainment. That's what I do. Edutainment. Okay. Little entertainment, little education. So we call it edutainment. That's what I do. Okay. I'm just saying. I don't know who came up with that word, but somebody did. I think it's a pretty good word. Maybe Rush Limbaugh came up with that. I'm not sure. Anyway, good morning to you. Hope this morning finds you well. And as you rise and shine this morning, the temperature outside is well, let me find the weatherman right here quick because I don't know where he went. Okay, I'm just saying. Let me see. Uh, okay, I don't know what happened to the weather. Oh, there we go. Right there. I don't know why this thing always gets lost when I'm trying to deal with it first thing in the morning. Okay, I don't know what's going on with that, but that's okay. That is a-OK. Right now, as you rise and shine this morning in the capital city of Alabama, which is Montgomery, it is 64 degrees, a high today of 84, and not too much of a chance of precipitation. Okay, 50% chance of precipitation, but okay, 51%. I was just trying to be somewhat encouraging. 51% chance of precipitation. Areas of patchy fog early, so remember that. Leave home a little early so you don't run into anybody, and nobody hopefully won't run into you. Cloudy skies this morning, followed by scattered showers and things of that nature. So it's probably going to rain. A today a 24% chance of rain tonight. So a stray shower or two, or maybe even a thunderstorm, is possible early this afternoon, early tonight. Okay, so don't worry about it though. Tomorrow, rain chance goes down to 22%, cloudy early with with partial sunshine and things of that nature. But other than that, though, it's going to be still a good day. Like I always say, any day above ground is a good day. Okay, so there's no such thing as bad days. There are only things happen bad in the day, but the day itself is always good. The only day that's bad is the one you miss, and depending on how you live and what you believe, we can have a conversation about that one day also. Anyway, good morning to you. It is time to rise and shine. Okay, you know what that means? Rise and shine. It means rise and shine. Okay, time to let's get it on. And had lunch yesterday with Joe Hagler. Uh, Listen, he even bought me some lunch. Whoa, when the last time a black man got a free meal? Well, I tell you what, thank Joe. That was some good food over there at there's one restaurant. I go there sometimes when I can afford it myself. Um, right there on Zelda Road. What is the name of that restaurant right there? Right next to Arby's. What is the name of the restaurant? I told him I was going to tell people. I mean, they serve some good food over there. But I'll tell you as soon as they get back. Down the street cafe. Down the street cafe. I'm telling you something. If you want to go and have some home cooked food, okay, that is the place to go. I'm just telling you, the food is scrumptious over there, and it's hot. They don't bring it to you cold. It's hot. I'm just saying. So I want to thank Joe Hagley. I say for giving the brother his first free meal in a long time. So I appreciate that, and to the folks who work at the down the street cafe, outstanding. The ambiance is great. The people seem good. I mean, I'm just telling you, I enjoy going over there every time I do. Which not too often, but not because I don't want to, just because brother, well, we got limited resources, so I can't go every day. But if I could go every day, I would go every day. Okay, I put it to you that way. That's how much. That's how good I like that food over there. But let me shut up. Let's talk about other things right now because it's time to get the show started. Um, I just wanted to thank the folks over there at Down the Street Cafe for hooking a brother up yesterday. And it was some absolutely, and the atmosphere is just, it's kind of like an atmosphere of an old Southern town, you know. Come think about it, we are an old Southern town. So, okay. So the atmosphere is just great over there. Okay. But if you ever get a chance to go to Down the Street Cafe, please take a chance. They've been here they've been here just as long as I've been here. They've been here longer than I've been. I think they got here in '88. So ever get the chance to go eat over there, right on Zelda Road, right next to Arby's. If you can't find it, but it's called Down the Street Cafe. I'm just telling you, what a wonderful place to eat. I don't normally talk about places to eat, but when the attitudes of the servers are great, when the food is good, and the conversations are right on time. I can't think of a better place I'd rather be. Matter of fact, they probably, some of the people I was talking to probably wanted me to leave, but that's okay. I had to talk to everybody. Let me shut up and get the show started this morning. Good morning to you. I'm Kevin Elkins, and this is Decisions 2.0. Why do we call it Decisions? Because everything we do requires us to make one. And even if we don't make one, we just made one. Good morning to you. It's time to rise and shine. You're wasting daylight.
We change the world in history right here where we're from. It's new beginning to you and me, cause we're not done. In our city, in our city, in our city, we're not done. I'll be like that.
It's time for our daily bread. Before we start, we cannot start the day without a word from on high. Sometimes that's the only thing that keeps us together. Sometimes that's the only thing that keeps us sane. Good morning to you. I'm Kevin Elkins. Next up, it's our daily bread.
In a gentle breeze, grateful heart with such sweet.
Our loving Father empowers us to reach out to others in need, affirming they too aren't alone. Welcome to today's encouragement from Our Daily Bread. Today's reading, titled Two Are Better, was written by Soshi Dixon. In the 1997 Ironman triathlon in Hawaii, two women fought to stay on their feet as they hobbled toward the finish line. Exhausted, the runners persevered on wobbly legs until Sean Welch bumped into Wendy Ingram. They both dropped to the ground. Struggling to stand, they stumbled forward, only to fall again about 20 meters from the finish line. When Ingram began to crawl, the crowd applauded. When her competitor followed suit, they cheered louder. Ingram crossed the finish line in fourth place, and she slumped into the outstretched arms of her supporters. Then she turned and reached out to her fallen sister. Welch lunged her body forward, stretching her weary arm toward Ingram's hand and across the finish line. As she completed the race in 5th place, the crowd roared their approval. This pair's completion of the 140-mile swimming, biking, and running race inspired many. But the image of the weary competitors persevering together remains ingrained in my mind, affirming the life-empowering truth in Ecclesiastes 4, verses 9 through 11. There's no shame in admitting we require assistance in life, especially since we can't honestly deny our needs or hide them from our all-knowing God. At one time or another, we'll all fall, whether physically or emotionally. Knowing we're not alone can comfort us as we persevere. As our loving Father helps us, He empowers us to reach out to others in need, affirming they too aren't alone. Today's Our Daily Bread devotional scripture reading is from Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verses 9 through 11. 2 are better than 1, because they have a good return for their labor. If either of them falls down, one can help the other up. But pity anyone who falls and has no one to help them up. Also, if 2 lie down together, they will keep warm. But how can one keep warm alone? Let's pray. Dear Father, we thank you for reassuring us of your constant presence as you help us and give us opportunities to reach out and help others. Please give us the sensitivity to the needs of others and the wisdom to know how we can help. Thank you, Lord. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
That's right. These are our own right here in Montreal. Alrighty then. Now, this next story, it don't last long. Okay, let me put my face back. Now, this doesn't last long. I just try to play something the last day and the first day of the week, so it'll make you feel good coming into the week and make you feel good going out of the week. Some of you guys, I can't help you; your mind's gone. But for those who can extract the message, I think you'll be okay. So we'll be back right after this.
When I was at the University of Florida, for every home game, we would get in the bus at our hotel, and we would drive right by the stadium, and we would stop at what's called the Gator Walk. And every game I played there was probably 20 to 40,000 fans at this Gator Walk, ready to greet us as we get off the bus. I would see all these people. I gotta tell you, there were a lot of voices that started to hit me. One of the first voices that instantly hit me was pride and arrogance, because I would look out and I would see thousands of jerseys with my number on it. I would look out and I would see Bible verses that they were wearing because I wore them. And so for a second you thought, dang, I'm something. They're here for me. This is pretty cool. I must be somebody. There's a picture that I stumbled across, and it's one of Time's 100 most influential images of all time. And it's the picture of this young girl. She's on her way from her village to a feeding center not far away. And she's so malnourished and she's moving so slow that this vulture is waiting to attack. So the young man that took this picture, I think there was probably something in his heart that he wanted to do good. He wasn't sure. So he captured this picture and he just waited, and then the vulture got closer. So he kind of shooed the vulture off, and then he walked away, and the vulture would come right back. And he was told, because of some of the sicknesses in the areas, don't touch anybody, don't do anything. And so he didn't. He did nothing. Because apparently the cost was too much. So he left. He went back. The New York Times published this photo in 1993. In 94, he won the Pulitzer Prize for this photo. 4 months after this, he chose to end his life. You see, every single one of us, we have a chance to be successful in life. And you know what? I hope you are. I really do. I hope you're successful. There's nothing wrong with being successful. But success is just about you. But significance is about other people. You see, that man that took that picture, he had success. That's one of the greatest honors a photographer could ever have. But obviously it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. So what's going to be enough for you? You see, success is great. You can do a lot of things with it, but it's not going to be fulfilling. And you can never forget that sense of urgency, that it's not about your timeline, it's about their timeline. While you might have 30, 40, 50 years, they have days, minutes, moments. She had moments, but it wasn't worth it to go pick her up. It wasn't worth it to give her a hug. It wasn't worth it to tell her about the gospel. Yeah, I won a Pulitzer Prize, but what does it matter? What does it matter? It doesn't. And I think the greatest tragedy in life is we're going to look back one day and say, I was successful in things that don't matter. I want you to be successful. But more than anything, I want you to be significant. And when you live for Jesus and you love people, I believe you're going to have a life of significance.
A life of significance.
When I was at the University of
What an interesting perspective to have. Anyway, good morning, everybody. Hope today finds everybody doing well. Over the week, hey, where's my beautiful face at? There we go, right there. On my again, let me tell you also about our sponsor of the show, which is One Stop Wireless. One Stop Wireless, which is located 3445 Atlanta Highway. You can't beat them. Right on the corner of Atlanta Highway and what's that other street right there? Atlanta Highway and Coliseum Boulevard. You can't beat it. Right there next to they're tethered to the gas station right there. Okay, and those are good folks too down there too. But anyway, if you got a phone in the house someplace, you got the phone someplace, and you don't know what to do with it, you don't want to throw it away because you paid a lot of money for it. You don't have to listen. Jessica, Apple 17 comes out, don't mean you got to get it. Okay, I'm still using 15, and I'm gonna keep using it until it starts smoking. When it starts to burn up, I'm going to still use it. I'm not running behind technology anymore. All that does is keep them rich and make me broke. So, if you got one of those phones in the house, let me get this thing out of my face here. You got one of those phones in the house, and you're not doing anything with it. Take it down there, see if they can, get it working. A lot of times they can put it on their system and you'll be still up and running in a minuto. Okay, that's my little Spanish language thing there. So you can do that, but it's One Stop Wireless. Okay, and the number is, okay, everybody knows what the number is. Okay. I did not put the number up there. Are we serious? Did I? How in the world can you call them if you don't have the number? How's that possible? Okay, now they're not open right now, but I'm gonna give you that number in a minute here. They're not open right now, but they will be open later on. I think they're open at 9:00. Okay, so the good folks out there, and 320-2988. Okay, here's the number again: 334-320-2988. Okay, did I get that right? 320-2988. Is that the number? Yeah, that's the number. Okay, I'm getting smarter than in my old age. Anyway, so let's go down. Let's call them up. Call them up first and tell them what kind of phone you got, because no sense about it. But if you don't have a phone, if you do not have a phone, they can hook you up with a phone also. I think they got a couple down there that are absolutely free. But you're going to go down there real quick to get one of those. Okay, it's not an iPhone 17, anything like that. But if you walk around with no phone, any phone is better than no phone. Okay, I'm just saying you might want to get down there and get one of those. They don't have too many of them. Anyway, I think you got to be on a Snap or something, whatever you got to. Anyway, you got to call and ask those guys those things. 320-2988. If you don't, if you can't call them now, that's fine. They're not open. Put it in a piece of paper. 320-2988. Okay. What's the name again? One Stop Wireless, right on the corner of Coliseum Boulevard and Atlanta Highway. Okay, which is right. They're connected to a little gas. I think it's a Shell gas station or something right there. Anyway, it's a gas station, and they open all the time. And these guys get there from 9 to 6, I believe. That's when they close. All right then. What's today's topic? There are many things that are on. Okay, now I'm going to ask you guys something, because I know this is going to be politically incorrect, but I don't give a crap one way or the other, because I'm tired. Okay, there's one word that is used in our society today just to bring about people's sympathy. You don't get mine, but there's one word. There's word. Well, it's two words together. Okay, that that brings about sympathy. All of a sudden, when you lay this on me, all of a sudden I'm supposed to reach into my pocket and everything and help you out and feel sorry for you. Okay. Does anybody know what those two words are? Okay. Somebody's got to know. Okay. The two words that I'm sick of hearing, and you guys are already sick of hearing it too, since you didn't do it. Okay. Now that should have gave you a hint right there what the word is. Anybody know what the word is? Okay. What is the word? Okay. And as soon as you hear it, you're supposed to go in your wallet and you're supposed to just feel bad and all that stuff. Well, I don't. Okay. I don't. Okay. I don't. Okay. 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 Anybody know what the word is? Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. Anybody know what the word is? It's a word that's supposed to make you feel guilty and feel sorry for everything that ever happened to this person. What is that word? Got change? No, that ain't the word. although, let's listen. That one too. But this is way worse than that. You got change. Okay, no, that ain't either. Come on, somebody ought to get this. You know this. You hear it all the time. Yeah, all the time. Yeah, and sometimes the word "I'm a veteran" it don't hold much weight anymore unless you can prove you got your VA card with you with me. You need to carry a copy of your DD Form 214 with you. Okay. Yeah, matter of fact, when I first got out, they said go to the courthouse and have this thing inscribed so it's still a legal document. So if y'all want to do that, y'all need to go to the courthouse or wherever they do this at and enshrine your DD-14 pardon to the government structure of the state of Alabama. But anyway, so somebody knows what the words are. Okay, it's two words. I'll give you. It's two words. Okay, before I get on to anything else, somebody's got to be tired of hearing this besides me. And I'm a veteran. That's three words. Okay, a veteran. Okay. Anyway, okay, but there's two words. Undisciplined is one word, but that's one of them too. But they don't ever use the word discipline anymore. Got change, yeah. Okay, come on now. I'm broke. No. Being broke is a natural is a natural state if you're broke. Not that one. No. It's where, and that won't make me feel sympathy for you. That just make me tell you to find a job. Okay, and if Trump's thing is doing what they say it's doing, then there ought to be plenty of jobs out there for people to go out and get one now. And if you truly broke, you don't have a right to choose which job you want to do. You need to choose a job that's available. So, I was in the store the other day and I asked a couple weeks ago and I asked the guy, I said, would you pick onions or anything? He said, nope. I said, how come? I ain't doing that kind of work. Well, he ain't been hungry enough yet. I said, you live at home with your mom and dad? He said, yeah. Okay, I feel you. I know where that attitude's coming from. So we good. I had no problem with that. But if you're 30 and got 18 kids, yeah, you need to pick something. Okay. But anyway, that's the case. So nobody knows what the word is, huh? Two words that we're supposed. Well, I'll leave that on the. I'll leave that on the table right now. If anybody can come up with the word before I spill the beans, okay? But I'm so sick and tired of hearing budget billing. no, it ain't budget billing. although budget billing isn't. I really don't like it, but it is a method by which to try to control your electric your thing. I'm thinking everybody should live in one room, close off the rest of the house, and put the big screen TV in the big bedroom, and put blankets on the floor for everybody else. You stay in the bed and have a good time, but put blankets on the floor. Get an 80 or 60-inch, 65-inch screen, put it in the room, and that way we could go to the movies, go to sleep, wake up. Well, and you might have to put a little heat in the kitchen later on, but get up. So that's my, seeing being from Indiana, I know we're getting like, I knew like, I wonder who this is. Yeah.
You ain't got to wonder, just look at caller ID.
Well, I wait a minute, hold on. I don't think I got you on the, Let me make sure because I don't want anybody to say that I was out. Oh no, okay, you there? I guess. So what's up there?
You got my comments ready? Too?
I called them last night. The only people they don't have a phone number, so I had to send an email in, and I do hope by Monday it'll be squared away because you can't talk.
I got the 2 words to make you waste your money and throw it away. You ready?
What's that?
Helping hand.
Listen, I hate to say this.
That will waste your money in a minute.
Wait a minute. I hate to say this to you, but you really are an ass. But that's okay. I mean, that's okay. You are who you are, but you really are.
Well, I'm had to call back since I don't have no comment.
Okay, then. Well, I'll let you.
But helping hand works for me.
Yeah, you can call back. I mean, but you really are an ass. I've been told not to use that kind of word, and that's the only time I'm going to use today's on this guy. But come on, man. Helping Hands helps people every year, but I can't go around and say I did this and I did that and this because I didn't. We did it. We all the people who gave. And if you don't want to give, that's fine. I'm used to you. You're just I wish I could do it all year long. There's always somebody out there that needs a hand with something. I got a couple bucks in the bank still because all I don't use, I just leave in the bank for the next year. Ain't much. I think 50, 60 bucks, something like that. But if somebody's finna get their lights cut off and it took $60 to get it kept on for them, I'd give them the money. Okay. So I don't. Yeah. But anyway, so you're just a butthole. That's all. Anyway. So the 2 words that you are an ass is 3 words. That's true. Yeah, that's for him. But the 2 words that when you hear it, it's like chalkboard when the teacher's writing something on the board. Remember how you used to screech and all that stuff? It just irritates you, right? It just irritates you. So where is it at? Come on. I know you know. And the minute I say it, I know you're going to say, yeah, that's it. That's it. The 2 words. And people try to use these 2 words to glean sympathy from you when you didn't have nothing to do with it. Not a thing. Okay. I'm just going to, when you guys can come up with those 3 words, with 2 words. Okay. Y'all be able to come up with it in a minute. All right. Anyway, other stuff also. Now, to my Hispanic friends, I must tell you, because this happened in California, and I just thought it's going to happen here sooner or later, except if it happens here, the results won't be the same. I'm pregnant. yeah. Well, now I can't, listen, I can't, now, saying I'm sorry doesn't irritate me. And matter of fact, we ought to say I'm sorry more often. No, it's not that words. No. And I'm pregnant. No, I'm leaving town then. Okay, no, I won't. I like to say that. Affirmative action. Affirmative action. Now I'm gonna get. Oh, there's one. Oh yeah. Economic development. That's one, but that ain't the one I'm talking about. But economic development. You know what economic development is? It's like Sasquatch in Washington State. We heard about him. We heard people saw him. But we've never seen it. We've never seen Sasquatch. Now we heard he's out there. Where economic development, it seems like it never gets developed. Okay, it never gets developed because we always need more money for this and more money for that, more money for this, more money. But we do need money to do things, and that's true. We do need money to move us forward. But I want to get back before I go on to my word. This other thing I'll tell you about. Before I get on, my brain goes from one thing to another. I got to go take a pill. But the mayor said the other day, he said that Montgomery has never been put in a position to truly prosper, to truly move ahead. He said there are people here in Montgomery and legacies of sorts that they like things the way they are. Some people a few people hold the key to everybody else's future. Okay, there's things that if you don't, and they came something over. They told me something yesterday, and I just thought it was really, and it rhymed. I just thought it was really appropriate because now a lot of people, and when I was on Hagler show yesterday, a lot of people like putting the mayor down. Listen, I can't stand that odious party that the mayor belongs to. But that doesn't mean that everything that guy does is wrong. I feel better about my. I mean, it did take him 35 years almost to get the sidewalks over there, Fairview Avenue and the facades and things of that nature. But government works slow. I guess government works very slow. So that's why you can't really depend on them until it's done. But it's interesting. The same, and I would imagine that every town in America, especially southern town in America, has a group of people, or a family, or two or three or four families that have ran things in that town for a long time. Now I don't know who those families are in Montgomery, but I would imagine there are some. I know one of the families, and listen, I got in against it. If you got the power, do it. If you can sway things your way, let's do it. But let's not forget the people whose shoulders you stand on. Okay, you know what I mean. So I think the mayor is right. I think there are people in this city who do not want us to prosper. Because look at Birmingham. I mean, they got shootings in there too. They still seem to be moving. And Lord have mercy, let's not look at Huntsville. Huntsville is where the rocket scientists live. Okay. Okay. So it is not that we're incapable of moving forward. There's an albatross on the neck of Montgomery. And it seems every time we want to do something different, go someplace, whatever. I mean, our bus system should be a lot better than it is. It really should be. And I realize even poor folks got cars. I realize that. But a city that is on the move will have an essential public transportation system. Oh, the victim card. Yeah, that's the one of them. Mhm. Well, I'm gonna tell you what the two words are. If somebody don't get it, about 8:15, I'll tell you what they are. Okay, but there are two words, ladies and gentlemen, that are meant when they're put together to make you sympathetic to their plight. Even though now, Don, I just talked to you, man.
Yeah, I can't do comments. You're making all these wonderful statements, and I got to be able to comment.
Okay,
Feel
well,
it
go
in
right
my
ahead.
soul.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Who are these people? I mean, we're a city run by Negroes. Who is holding us back?
Well, now we didn't get the city was not.
Now, who is holding? Give me a name. One
No,
name.
well, wait a minute. The city was not planted by
Give
Negroes.
me one name of the people that's holding us back.
Well, I think Emory did a little bit, and I love Emory Farmer. But I think he did. I think
He's not in office now.
well, he's not in office now, but
You
there's
got the first black mayor that's been in for how many years?
right. But the legacy of Montgomery.
But you go see,
didn't
you got to
start.
blame white people for everything. The only
Listen,
way a white person can affect the
Well-
little black mayor is to give him money.
Well, we're not talking about the little black mayor, but I'm saying
Well, you
city-
said these people holding us back. I just want to know who they
I
are.
said, no. I said people.
It's always an insinuation from you guys.
Yeah.
Is white folk that are keeping us down and keeping the knee on it.
What
And you run the city. You
What I-
run the schools.
I hear
You
you.
run
I hear you.
everything.
Let me ask you a question. And I want you to be honest with me. Can you do
I've
that?
always been honest. I
Okay.
ain't got no fear. I'm 76 years old.
Right on. Oh, really? Okay, you're getting up there, brother. If somebody sells you a car and there's no gas in it, yeah, you got a car, my friend, but you're not going anyplace until you get some gas. So
That don't
Montgomery,
make no sense
Well,
what you're
well,
talking about.
yes, it does. We gave Montgomery got a black mayor right now for the time being, but I'd say y'all ran the gas out of it a long time ago.
That's just a stupid statement. I don't even know where the world you got that
Well,
from.
it's
You
kinda
got a
deep.
black mayor who claims he's got all the money in the world. Remember, he ran on how much money he had in the coffers. Yesterday, he said there was $1.7 billion put into the city. So don't tell me he ain't got the money, because he tells us he's
Well,
got
it's a
money.
lot more money than what we have.
But tell me how y'all gonna blame white people for this.
I'm not blaming white. We're blaming an attitude.
You are too. That's
No.
the insinuation.
No. We blaming
It's always
people's
the
attitude.
insinuation from your group.
Now, well, I don't know what group I belong. I'm in the middle.
You run the city. You think I feel comfortable knowing who's running the city?
Well, let me ask you a question. what would you do to change things if you were mayor?
First, I would start enforcing the laws. I would force first by hire cops and support them, and I get the criminals off the street that's going 100 miles an hour. You start with those kind of things, and you start respecting the laws. Nobody in this city respects any laws because there's no threat of any punishment. We can't ever punish a black person because of his history of slavery. It just gets old. But quit blaming white folk. You can start there.
Well, I'm not.
You run the city. It's yours now. You got the keys to the car.
Okay.
We don't have them.
Okay.
And if the white folks affected the mayor, it's because they giving him money.
Right.
And that's the only way he can affect them is money given to him.
Well, that's
all right. I'll wait for my next call.
Okay. Again, you give people a car with no gas in it. Now, it looks good sitting on the street. Got the steering wheel right there. Everything's looking good, okay, because he gave you a car. But then you go get in the car, and you're trying to go someplace, and where you going? You're going no place because you got no gas. Okay? You got no gas. So giving me a new, although we thank you for the car, and sooner or later, we're going to get some gas. But when you gave it to me, it had no gas. Okay? It had no gas. So while you sit there with your hands all folded, like you're an ambidextrous person, you use both. You won't admit the fact that you gave us a car with no gas. You gave us a car. I think, and I liked Emory Farmer. I mean, he didn't like me sometimes too much, but I liked him. But I do think we spent too long. Because of Emory, we spent a long time not being progressive. Okay. And listen, there's something to say about that. There's something, I guess, kind of quaint, kind of nice about having a good old Southern charm city. But at the end of the day, Huntsville is in the South. And look at them. Birmingham, even though they got a bunch of crooks up there too, like we got, they seem to be moving ahead. The charm, Daryl Dutton said, the charm of a small town, Montgomery doesn't need to grow up. Look at the culture that grows with it. Well, we're never going to get people to want to, young people to live here forever. And why does a man has to grow up and leave his own hometown to be successful? Why can't that success be right here? And I would imagine there are people, okay, I mean, you shouldn't have to be a doctor or a lawyer in order to be successful in Montgomery. But those seem like to be the only people that, because they can extract money from just about anybody. But what about our engineers? And we got a couple. Mr. Smith, the young man that's running for what's he running for? He's running for something. He's trying to make a difference in town. Young guy, just a smart young man. And let's see, do I got a picture of him right here someplace? Yeah, there he is right there. Okay, let me show you. Now, this guy right here, I think he's going to be something. Okay, let me get it. I'll show you right here, right quick. I think this young man's going to be something. He's from Montgomery. His parents raised here. I think he is going to be something. And don't we want to give all of our kids the same opportunity to be successful? Even here in the city, why do we have to keep growing up, keep living, keep going to someplace else? Okay, why do we have to do that? Okay, why would I do that? Why we got to go someplace? Like this kid right here. Now he's running for district, one of them house seat district. Some guy looks good. Only problem when he's a Democrat, but other than that, though, he carries himself. Looks like he cares, and he's an engineer. Okay, which is something that you don't really, see much of. At least not that I know of anyway. Now, there are probably a lot of smart. Come think about it, I know another engineer, young man, astro engineer named Lewis. He is moving right along. So I think what we have to do is We have to stop our kids from going into things that they think are easy to get through, because what comes easy don't last long, and what lasts long, well, it don't come easy. So our kids keep going to school on trying to get a football scholarship rather than getting an intellectual scholarship, because football days come to an end. Now, if you're smart, you save your money. But yesterday there was an NFL player. There's an NFL player who got caught stealing food. Made almost $15 million playing football, and now he went to jail yesterday for stealing groceries out of a store. So, I mean, that's got to be the most craziest thing I've seen. You made over $15 million playing ball, and you are stealing groceries out of a store. Groceries. Ah. Po pitiful. Now, listen. I'm not making excuses for the mayor. Okay, I think he's doing a hell of a better job than y'all give him credit for, though. And again, except for that odious party he belongs to, I like the guy. But I think we're giving him more. Now, I will admit to you, I've been there since 1991. Half my life has been spent in Montgomery, Alabama. So I've seen Emory, I've seen Todd, I've seen Bobby Bright, and now we got what's his name? Reminding what it used to be some days. Now we got Mr. Reed. So what are we whining more? I can come smile. I don't do. Well, listen, again, I'm giving him the same pass that I give Trump. I go by their intentions, not necessarily what they say, because often what they say comes from a place of lack of experience. Okay, that's a junk he said when he first got in. But and listen, if somebody put a tape recorder in your room, wouldn't they hear you say some choice words? I know if they put some in my room, I'd be saying all kind of stuff. I don't really talk about people very much, but I have. Talk about you from your mama, your granddaddy, and everybody else. I say, hey, your sister looks like your dog in the back room. I mean, we all say things sometimes that we later regret. Okay. Now I got to believe that the mayor kind of, I got to believe that the mayor kind of regrets that one. Okay. 521-2963. Well, I think, yeah. Oh, no, I got to put that back on there. Okay. But anyway, y'all can call in if you want to. If you think that I'm 100% totally wrong, then tell me. But I do believe that we give that man more hell than we ought to. And listen, nobody to offer me a job. I'm not getting a job. I'm still poor. So I never even go look down there. I never even put an application for a job or anything down there for the state, because I don't want to work for the government. And so I'm not trying to get anything out of my encouragement of the mayor, except that whoever is the mayor of this town. Again, if Jesus Christ was the mayor of Montgomery, I'm telling you, there are people who would complain all day and all night. Jesus, why can't you do this? Why did you do that? We need to unelect you. Oh yeah, that's us. Yeah, that's us. You are the only one I hear whining. Well, I'm not whining. I am putting forth a proposition that we whine too much as a city about the person who's in office trying to do the best they can. Okay. Sure there are. It's a lot. There are lots of people successful, but there are only certain jobs around here where you seem to be you seem to be able to be successful. Politicians, lawyers, and doctors. Okay, so I don't know any other. Well, in finance, you can always find some people doing good in finance. I mean, like who's the guy running RSA? David Bronner. He's doing all right. But This is the only advantage we have. We got this is state capital. We got most of the state. We got a lot of state jobs here. Okay. Okay. Tell me why. Okay. The Greg. Now tell me something. Not your opinion, but give me facts about one thing the guy has done that has caused us harm. Give me a fact, not opinion, but give me a fact. What has he? What SOP? What SOP has he stated? Now I will admit to you, when he first got in, talking about with the whatever that ordinance he was trying to bring in. Uh, 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 what was he trying to bring in when he first came in? Talking about if you think you're a veteran, you're a veteran. If you think you're a girl or female, you're a female. Okay, that was kind of screwed up. But I think he learned from that. I think the mayor has learned from that. Okay, levitate. Evidently, uh, uh, evidently levitate the few people that can carry us through the use of all this money. I guess, and I think that's up this year. As a matter of fact, they can't make him out to be a chump. Computer field programming, internet security. Well, that's you're right. Anything technology, right? Anything technologically associated, right? There's a good living to be made in that. But if we look at some of our schools, who's still trying to, they don't seem to want to head in that direction. They seem to want to teach the same old thing they always taught. And here's a okay, now I know this is a dumb question, and I know somebody's going to get on my case, and I know history is important. But tell me something. What do I learn from history class in high school that's going to get me a job? Okay, what do I learn? Okay, what do I learn from history class that's going to get me a job? I've never been asked about history on any application that I put in for a job, even since I've been here. I've only had one job though since I've been here in radio, and that's about the only job. Oh yeah, I did work for 3 days at U-Haul. They fired me. Uh, yeah, went to sleep on the job. It was such a boring job, so they fired me. I don't blame them for firing me either. Browner invested in Enron. I did, yeah, okay, fine, but just tell me something that somebody give me something that the mayor himself is personally responsible for doing that is not helping Montgomery. I mean, if we're gonna pick on people, we ought to be able to articulate that which we mean. What has the guy done that has hurt Montgomery? I think there's the police thing. Well, evidently, he said a couple thousand. He's got a couple thousand applications for the police department, but he, unlike me, I probably wouldn't have. You know, I probably wouldn't have. I'd probably hired everybody to put in the application and then had to fire everybody after we got done going through 'em. So he's doing his due diligence, I think, to make sure that we had good people being in the police department. Because one of the worst things we could do is just put people in the police department just to make sure that the numbers say we have enough. And then they're out there whooping people's head and taking people's money and all kinds of things. Now, why is he redoing? See, I heard about the immigration. I don't know exactly what. I don't. Does a city have immigration the purview to change immigration law? I don't think so. What is he doing? What is he doing? The Greg. What is he doing? That's is he trying to change the immigration law? He can't do that. That's a federal statute. Okay. Listen, I understand, and here's my problem. I understand that John, that you're blaming I'm not blaming myself for anything. I'm good. Everyone except yourself. Unless you're exceptionally intelligent, you're going to need higher education. That's a bunch of crap. No, you do not. No, you do not. As a matter of fact, with the resources that are here today, most people can be self-taught. Okay, most people can be self-taught. Again, no, you don't. You don't need a college degree to be successful, but you do need a college degree in certain fields in order to prosper. Technology is the only field. Medicine, science, all the rest of this crap, business administration, psychology, all the rest of that crap they taking up. That's not doing anybody any good. Matter of fact, when you get out, here's one: gender studies. You need a degree in science, and science, of course, incorporates medicine, technology, and things of that nature. You need a degree for that because you got to be a better than the other guy in that field. But what in the hell is a degree on and with AI, seriously, why you need a degree in poli sci-fi? I mean, why do you need a degree in there's a bunch of degrees that are absolutely useless. Sociology. That's one. Oh, that's one. Let me get that sociology degree. Even though we have not affected one change in society. And the changes that have come about are not good for us. And human resources, who the hell came up with that job? You did something wrong, you fired. Okay. You, you did something wrong, you gone. You don't show up for work on time, you gone. Okay, you're just out of here. Okay, need help. Well, again, you don't. And now I can't even tell you that teachers need degrees. I can't even unless they teach it in a specific like yeah, degree. It's a lot of waste of money today. Yeah, Don.
I wanted to give you a fine example of a person not having a college education who did well. You want to know who it was?
Who?
You know who Mark Wayne Mullen is?
Mark Wayne?
Mark Wayne Mullen. At 17, his father was sick and he took over a small plumbing business. He run it into a multi-million-dollar organization. He became a senator of Oklahoma and now will be the new director of DHS. But he did not even have a college education, probably only one of the congressmen up there that doesn't have a college education. But he took a plumbing business, run it into a multi-million-dollar education, became a senator from Oklahoma, and now will head the Department of Homeland Security. That is a great example of not having a college education.
Okay, appreciate it. That's true. There are a lot of stories like that. Just like Cumulus fired you. Well, okay, let me get this straight. I was not fired by Cumulus. Okay, I was laid off. Okay, they closed the radio station down. So if they closed the radio station down, even though I was absolutely stupendous, um, young AM radio was on the out. That's just the way it is. A lot of, as a matter of fact, on that particular day, 1,500 people on December the 2nd, 2024, 1,500 people got let go from Cumulus. But that's not. It's a sign of the time. When I go over to WAKA or WSFA, ain't hardly nobody in there. Technology is taking over these jobs, except podcast jobs. You got to have a human being for that, unless they come up with something else. I was on. It was on. It was on the list. You see, here's the problem, and this is why I am with Trump and everybody. I didn't know that the station was being ready to be closed. I didn't know anything about that. I didn't have a clue, but that's what it was. They were getting ready to close the station, and they just didn't tell me. And the reason they don't tell people on the air when you on radio or TV, because they know you'll get on there and say something absolutely stupid and get them fined. Okay, except me, I'm an older guy, so I wouldn't have done that. But they didn't know that. Okay, so they don't tell you everything. Okay, so Big Daddy C Main, I don't know if she has a where corporate got rid of 1440. So I don't know who did it. But listen, I'm just telling you, you don't need a degree to be successful in America. You need one to be successful in the sciences. That's the only one I'm willing. Like you're going to know about quantum physics. You're going to know about physics, calculus, and things like that. Yeah, you need it. Yeah. You need a college degree for that. And that's the only thing you need a college degree. You just don't need one for any other job. You know how many jobs are out there right now? You go online right now, see all the jobs that are available. A bunch of them. Okay. Oh, why did the black pastors fire you? Because they didn't like me liking Trump. They didn't like me liking Trump. And then I told the folks over there that you don't have to tithe anymore. Oh man, when the minute I said that, all the phone lines lit up. you don't have to tithe anymore. No, you're supposed to give, but not tithe. Tithe was a law. It was 10%. Don, I gotta let you. Don.
I may have to be a co-host. This is more fun than can be. They use undocumented for illegal to make it sound better.
Yes.
I think permanently laid off for firing is pretty good too.
Okay. Well, again, they
Instead
don't.
of being fired, you were permanently laid off.
I was permanently laid off.
Maybe they closed the door because nobody was listening to the station.
Well, actually, and again, that ain't my fault. When Rush Limbaugh,
but the good news is you brought these 5 people with you to the.
Yeah. Well, again, and again, listen, I'll.
But please get my comment. How am I going to have any fun during the day if I can't comment to Camellia's?
I don't know, but after all, but after all these calls from you today, I'm doggone sure gonna make sure that somebody at StreamYard get a hold of me.
Well, I think the folks appreciate my calls.
Well, I think they do.
You got to have some humor in this stuff because it ain't funny right now. I don't even know what you're talking about today. You went from people holding back the city to what are you on now?
You made me forget what I was on.
See, that's your problem right there. You have no attention span.
So let me get back to where I was on, and then I'll remember.
If you don't know what you were on, you can't get back on it.
Well, I know what I wasn't on.
Hey, and for milk, you take a milk break. You know what milk is for?
What's it for?
Baby cows. It ain't doing you no good to be drinking all this milk. It's not healthy for you. But milk is for baby cows. It ain't for you.
It ain't never made me sick.
Look at yourself. My God.
Well,
Do you ever look back at some of these things? I mean, you're not a healthy man. You supposed to got diabetes. And what all other diseases you got?
Well, that's the only thing I deal with. And I never had any effect. I never had any.
You ain't got no blood pressure medicine?
Oh yeah, but that's black people. All black people got blood pressure medicine.
Wow.
Because the white man just didn't put us in a sort of an
white man put the pressure on you, so you all got blood pressure.
So okay, but listen, you look like you weigh a lot.
White man taught you how to shoot, so y'all shoot each other.
Yeah. So you look like you can lose a little weight too. You know what I mean?
Where would you see me?
I saw you, brother. I saw you a few days ago.
A man ain't worth a damn if he won't build a shed over his best tool.
I hear you. See you later. Well, yours is well covered. Okay, guys, I'm going to get him so he can correspond. And there are some white people got high blood pressure, but black folks traditionally seem to have been having since I've been born. Black high blood pressure is just something that runs in the group, I think. So you think someone going to hire you off? Okay. White, what you say? So you think someone going to hire you off the streets, being a nurse, teacher, welder? Of course not. Nursing is science. Teaching, you can't teach science unless you know science. A welder, that's a technical job. Any technical job. I'm talking about these degrees such as political science. There ain't nothing scientific about politics. It is professional manipulation. Tell them long enough what you're going to give them, and then they'll vote for you. And then when you don't give it to them, they can always blame the other guy in the other ring. Okay, so I'm not saying you don't need a degree. I'm telling you that you don't need a degree to be successful. Okay, but you need a degree in the sciences. Oh, absolutely, you need one. I mean, other day I I was having a conversation about quantum physics. Now everybody in the room was just enamored that I knew anything about, that I could even spell quantum physics. Now I know Don doesn't know anything about quantum physics, so now we're not even going to go there. Okay, we're not going to go there. So, but I know a little bit about it, and my son is excellent in calculus. I can't, and those things of that nature. He's smarter than I am. I had to learn things from him. So anyway, moving right along. Let me get back to it. The Kevin Show has changed it to Don Clown Show. Listen, I got to get the thing fixed so he can get on. Uh-huh. Poetry. Oh yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's gonna get you a job. Yeah, that's gonna get you a job right there. That's the one. As a matter of fact, let me wait a minute. Okay, hold. I'm telling you which college degree is no longer worthy. Which COLL. Mm-hmm. I gave it to you last couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And I bet you people are actually still paying for these degrees. Political science. Okay. Political science. Oh, Lord have mercy. And here's one, psychology. Oh, that's one. That's one. Has anybody solved the mental illnesses of the world? Sociology. Our society is no better off now than it was without them. As a matter of fact, it's somewhat worse because now we're trying to convince people we're trying to convince people in their counseling sessions that their dads had inappropriate relationships with them. They got people, and they sued somebody. They got people now whose job it is to convince you that something happened to you that did not happen to you. And if you're not mentally stable, if you're not mentally strong, you believe that crap. Okay. And because a lot of people do. So I'm not saying education is great, but again, I believe that you can be self-taught today with internet, with YouTube, with all the I think they call it autodidactic. Okay, yeah, a lot of people are. You don't need and to give you I'll give you an example. Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk is one of the smartest guys I have ever listened to. Didn't have a college degree. He was an autodidactic. He was a person who educated himself. Charlie Kirk, it's a smart. I doubt if there are 10 people in America before they killed the poor guy that could hold anything to him on just about any subject, be it science, be it sociology, be it economics. That guy was the guy. And listen, again, I don't know what being successful in psychologist. I don't know what that means. I don't really know what that means. Can you really prove that you change somebody's mental status? Can you really prove that without appeal? Okay. Can you really, I don't know. I don't know. I know. Like sociology, we give degrees in sociology. Can somebody tell me where society has benefited from it? Okay. Can anybody tell me where society has benefited from sociologists? Now, archaeologists, I don't know if you need to get a degree in it, but if it's something you want to do in your spare time, right on, go out there and dig up bones of people. I don't know. I don't know if I don't know if it's going to do any good, but if that's what you want to do, right on. I haven't looked in the paper and seen archaeologists. I haven't seen a need for archaeologists in the newspapers lately, or even online. What does it say right here? Wait, what's it? They got your South Bend off the gospel station for saying that BS too. I listened live that day, and the black pastor went to work on you. Yeah, they did. Okay, but that's okay. Listen, if you can't take it, y'all not pull it out. But I am still right about it. You're not supposed. Tithing is no longer valid. But preachers will go. They'll go to church every day and swearing down. You need to tithe. But that's not in the New Testament any place. But the Bible says, God said, you need to give. And there's a big difference between tithing and giving. Giving is what you give from your heart. Tithing is what the law tells you you must do. And the good Lord said, God loves a cheerful giver. Okay. Not one that is mandated to give it. My son, I listen. He's making his own decisions about that. I'm not trying to change his mind about anything. I give him the benefit of my knowledge, which I realize it's exceptional. But I don't try to change him because he won't listen. He won't be able to look back at me and say, "You told me this to do this." No, let you make your own decision. You know, I didn't make it. Listen, I was surprised when he said he wanted to go in the Army. That surprised me because I was kind of pushing him toward the Air Force. I thought, but then guess what happened? Guess what happened? And let me tell you the misnomer. Let me tell you what happened. I go down to the Air Force recruiter, right? I go down to the Army recruiter, right? And the Air Force, and say, well, my son wants a technological job. He wants to be in the technology field. Well, guess what the Air Force people told me? They told me that the Army has more technological jobs than the Air Force does. Who would have ever believed that? But then again, since the Air Force came from the Army, I guess it's kind of apropos. But who would you would think by the newspapers, by the merchandising that all we good for is walking in the bushes and shooting people and getting caught and stuff like that. Well, that's not true. You have scientists in the Army. You have all kinds of things. Computer technologies in the Army. You do all kinds of. I didn't realize we were doing that because those summer guns had me go to another job. Told me I had what was my GT score? 100 and something. And but I wanted to go to the Rangers. I wanted to be an airborne, although I don't regret that at all. Believe me. But the only way I could get there was take that cooking job. Now, no wonder I didn't last long at that job because it was bored the hell out of me. But now we don't. I don't even think we have cooks in the Army anymore. I think in garrison you have civilians, and then you got MREs, brother. MREs, meals ready to eat. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. So, anybody else got anything else? I got something else to talk about too. Now let me get on. Let me get on the subject and stick on it for a second. Okay. Wait a minute. I know Willie had something good to say. Willie always had something good to say. I don't know what it is, but I know he had something. Let me see. The mayor must be doing his job because the city is not filling. Well, we're not filing for bankruptcy. That's true. Lights are on. Sanitation is being picked up. Garbage and trash. Fire and calls. Oh, there's my boy right there. Yes, sir.
Morning, Sergeant Elkins.
Good morning.
Hey, I just want to make sure that you're clear in what you're attempting to say.
Okay.
I don't think you want to come across as discouraging young people to get an education. And that's what it sounds like, is you're anti-education.
No, I want your education to be relevant. Not just going to school so I got a degree.
No, but I mean, we all acknowledge that, dirty jobs pays. Electrician, plumber, mechanics, carpentry, brick mason. Those jobs, plumbing, those jobs pay. But
Good.
Be careful. They pay very well. But when you start mentioning, Charlie Kirk, I think Rush Limbaugh dropped out of high school.
He went to a 2-year college. Rush Limbaugh did.
You might want to research it.
Okay.
You might want to research it. But the bottom line is, though, we have to be careful in sending a message that you don't need to have an education. Now, an education is not required to be successful, but more than likely, they won't be able to use that as a reason not to hire you.
Well, I would agree. Listen, everybody needs the 12th grade. Everybody needs to go to the 12th grade. And actually, if to be realistic, we get 3 months off every year on college. We can actually finish up school in 9 years in the 9th grade. But we carry it on because it fills people's jobs. But we take 36 months off of 12 years of school. That's 3 years. So
yes, Yeah, but I think people need to break. I mean, you don't need to rush people through for, education, because you and I both know that once you graduate from high school, the rest of your life is working. So enjoy this while you can. I was in the Marines for 20 years. I've had my own business for 22 years. So out of my 60 years, 42 years have been work.
Yeah.
So why rush the educational process? Because all you have after that, that's why they call it a commencement exercise. Because you're not ending something, you're finna
Oh,
commit
right.
something.
Right. Yeah. That's the day it begins, and not end.
So
Yeah.
don't rush it. Don't cut 3 months out the summer and try to hurry up and get there.
Well,
Take your time. But I just want to make sure that you're coming across, though, not anti-education.
no, of course not. I mean, obviously, if you're going to deal with quantum physics, calculus, and things of these nature, you need a great education. You're going to be an engineer. There's no being an engineer if you don't go to get a higher class of
Well,
education.
it's not so much the degree, it's the discipline. You have shown a discipline that you can be committed to something into a process.
And
That's
that's
why
what
it's
they
a
say.
discipline.
Yeah, that's what they say. But
Well, it's true. I mean, if it's true. But that's all I want to share. Just I think
Yeah.
once a young person leaves high school, I say they have 4 things they can do. They can enroll in a higher education, a
Right.
technical school.
Mm-hmm.
They can enlist in the armed services.
Mm-hmm.
They can enter the workforce,
Mm-hmm.
or they want to become an entrepreneur. Those are the 4 avenues you have.
Right.
And you have to be prepared to whatever avenue you choose to pursue, whether that's enrolling, whether that's enlisting, whether that's entering the workforce, or whether that's entrepreneurship.
Mm.
We have to encourage people that you can't not do nothing. Thank you, sir.
All right. Appreciate. Yeah. Not one time. Somebody else got on me yesterday, but you saying it on there. Of course, you need an education. Of course you do. That's nothing new. But there's some education you don't need. Right? There's some you don't need. What's going on there, Simpler Days?
Simpler. Well, it's pretty simple this morning. Pretty simple. Mayor, you know that over 50% of the individuals that start college don't graduate.
And they get and they got a lot of debt on them too.
If you listen to the Dave Ramsey show like I do,
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
he gets call. Yeah, he gets call after call of these poor souls that have had, they've got $50, $60, $70, $100,000 when they're trying to get a master's or what, but they've got all this debt, and now they can't get a job in one of these fields, but they got an education, and there's a message being sent, and higher education is one of the biggest money cash cows that there is, and they keep feeding that monster, and these kids are going in, and it's not like back in the day, 60s, 70s, when these kids would work a couple of jobs, and they could pay that debt off in a reasonable amount of time. And, before Pell Grants and all that stuff, people had to work. Either their parents had to go in to a bank and get a loan, and then either they paid their parents back or they paid off on the loan when they graduated. But now the debt is astronomical for these kids coming out of college, and somebody sold them the bill of goods, that if you go to college and you get a degree, you're going to be making a ton of money, and you can buy the same house your mom and daddy's got. It took them 40, 50 years to get. You can get it right now.
Mm.
And
That's
it's just not true.
Yeah.
But, Willie was talking about dirty jobs. Heck, some of those dirty jobs pay a ton of money, and you may have a 2-year degree in diesel mechanics. You may have a 2-year, and that's what they do in Israel and other countries. They give them a test, and they said, and they say, okay, here's what you would be good at. You don't need to go to a 4-year college. But we've sold this concept continue to sell this concept that you got to go and get a degree. I met a kid at Home Depot, and he was talking to me about police work. And I said, yeah, they need you. I said, they're hiring. And he said, well, I've got a degree in forestry management. And he said, I can't get a job.
No wonder the forest ain't hiring.
Exactly. The trees ain't accepting the applications.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing to these poor individuals. And then, well, if I can't get a job and I got a 4-year degree, I can go get a master's. And I mean, it's just,
yeah. Well,
there needs to be some redirecting, and I'm all for education. Yeah, I'm all for education, but I just think that we're selling these poor souls a lie, and
yeah,
you know, it's just
and the degree, the school. What I went to school for in Hawaii, it's on the list of obsolescence. Okay, it is on the list of irrelevant, immaterial, useless. Okay, and I'll tell you what that is, but it's there. It's not only that, a lot of things are general liberal arts. Let's take history. Let's take English. Often, according to this article, often as lacking specific marketable job skills. Okay, communications and journalism. Hell, you don't need all you gotta do is tell AI what to write. Criminal justice.
Oh, exactly.
Criminal justice. I don't know what that means. Often criticized for not being necessary for entering law enforcement, as a high school diploma is usually sufficient. Absolutely. They teach you what you need to know anyway. And this is what I mentioned earlier: anthropology, archaeology. Who in the hell cares?
Well, when I was the director of a nonprofit, I can't tell you how many times that I'd have somebody come into my office, and it'd be a grant job, and they would show me their resume, and I'd say, it doesn't have anything to do with this. And they said, well, I just need a job. I just need some benefits. And it's, they got a degree in history. They got a degree in something that it's so hard to find a job in.
Well, the one I mentioned earlier, sociology, that's on the list too, along with psychology. Hell, we got to the point now that AI, you can sit down in front of a computer and hell, AI tell you who you are.
Oh, I mean, you can find any, and I don't know how they're going to manage it or control it or keep these kids from using it, but Snap GPT, you can ask it anything, and it can give you the answer in 2 seconds.
Absolutely. And here's one graphic designer. Years ago, a graphic designer could get all the money they could possibly handle and doing what they do. Well, guess what? AI came along. All you got to do is tell it what to draw.
Oh, yeah. But, there's fields, and you can call them dirty jobs or whatever you want to call them, but they're making a hell of a good living. And that's what we got away from, Mayor. We got away from, and it's almost like it's an embarrassment or it's looked down on because you work for a wage.
Yeah.
And
probably
working for a wage and putting food on the table and keeping the lights on and keeping your house mortgage paid, that ain't a bad deal.
No, it ain't a bad deal at all. All right, man.
Have a good day, Mayor.
Appreciate you. And here's another one, data entry. Well, it is generally not considered a sustainable long-term career path because now we got voice track. We can type things and correct things with our voice. We don't need to put data entry into things. Yeah, Don, I'm so going to work on this thing Monday for you, brother.
Yeah, the Camilla says the Don Clown Show. Maybe we should bring her on so we have a pretty face to go with it. Hey, I find it ironic that Willie's talking about college and ain't concerned that the kids in Montgomery High School can't read and write. I mean, what is that? We're talking about college, and you have no concern that only a third of the kids can read and write. And they talk about graduation rates. They don't talk about their skill levels or anything else because they're graduating kids that can't even go to college. Colleges now having to spend a year to try to get them to learn how to read and write. Hey, you demeaned me a while ago talking about quantum physics. You said I didn't know anything. Well, could you give me a definition of quantum physics?
Well, I'm not going to. I mean, of course, I can give you.
I know you're not going to. You demean me.
But
hey, what's the atomic symbol for gold?
Man, I knew that for years.
Well, you put me down for quantum physics. You don't even know what quantum physics is.
All I
you
got
just know the word.
Wait a minute. All I got to do is just look up on my computer in front of me and
hey, let me ask you a question. I got my map out. This will be my last call. It's gonna break some people's heart.
Yeah.
But you live down the street from Notre Dame. You told us many times.
Yeah.
What street is that so I can look it up? I got my map out here.
Yeah, that's Notre Dame. I lived on Howard.
What street? What street did you live on?
I lived on Howard Street.
Okay, I'm gonna look to see what Howard Street is.
That runs right into Notre Dame Avenue.
Yeah, is that an expensive neighborhood or what?
Yeah, it's a neighborhood. I don't know what it looks like now. I mean, that was 50 years ago.
Was it expensive? I mean, what's the price of houses on Howard Avenue?
I don't know, man. That was 50 years ago.
What street number? Because, I can pick right out.
But I don't know the street number.
What street number was you lived on Howard Avenue?
I can't remember the street number.
How many years you lived on it?
I wasn't paying rent there. So, I mean, what difference does it make? You wouldn't know where it was.
Well, you lived down the street.
I did live down the street.
Library
and I did. I did. Yeah.
And I like what you're talking about. You studied it. You were in college when you were at Hawaii.
And I was.
You took one little class.
I took more than one.
Was that a core? Was it on a it on a semester or quarterly? What was that?
Listen, you got anything else to say?
No, I was in the service. I know how this works. They'll pay for one class.
Let me ask you something. Were you on the ship?
You weren't neither.
Yes, I was.
Why would you be on a ship?
There's so many things, my friend, about
why? Why would you be on a ship? You're a cook. You think the Navy's gonna give up their galley for you to come on there? Wait a minute.
Did I say anything about Navy?
You said you were on a ship. Whose
That's
ship
right.
you were on?
I was on a ship.
The only ship you on is hardship.
See you later. Look up in the look up a place called Ford Island in Hawaii, and you'll find where I was. Okay, Ford Island. That's where I was. And we got ships. Yeah, I was on a ship. I used to go from all the islands, and I was a galley chief. So yeah. Mm-hmm. So you don't know. You just don't. The problem with not knowing is that you don't really know what you don't know. Okay, that's all I'm saying. You just don't know. But I feel you, brother. I feel you. I know you need something to do in the morning. Now I feel you on that. But I've already proved my point about the college degrees, the ones that are relevant and the ones are no longer relevant, and that's just the way things are. But you do need an education. There ain't no doubt about it. Okay. You need an education. You need to be taught something, but you need a skill more than you need from first to the 12th grade, which we don't even need 12 grades to actually get there. But the way our system is set up, from the first to the 12th grade, you need it. And like Willie he did say, they want to make sure that you have the ability to stick. The military calls it stick-to-itiveness, that you won't quit. And all that. It's like going to the Ranger Battalion or the 82nd Airborne. They're going to test you. They're going to test you hard. They're going to make sure that you really want this thing. Well, that's what we need to do. So, yeah. So, and I hate, I even hate talking to a leg most of the time, which is what he is. He's just a leg. And what is a leg? A leg is a non-airborne individual, a guy who's just a wuss. Okay, yeah, that's what we're talking about. A guy just a wuss. He can't do nothing. He likes to go. See, I'm the kind of guy that when he watches old home army movies, he watching for the guys like me. Okay, that's what they're watching, and I don't blame him. That's just the way it goes. Paratroopers are a special breed of men. Okay, we're just a special breed of men. We're not the regular. Matter of fact, Gavin said he used to be the head of the 82nd Airborne. He said something which I still find to be true today. He said, you can take paratroopers anywhere and they'll get the job done. Well, that is so true. But anyway, so much for that. So Don is sitting at home, sitting at home watching movies about people like me. Okay, except a lot of them died. Okay, I'm just saying. And the 2 words. Okay, y'all haven't got the 2 words yet? Okay, the 2 words. There are 2 words that when they come up, it is supposed to drag sympathy out of you. You're supposed to be all your heart's supposed to melt. I mean, you're supposed to open up your wallet and just give all your money to these people because of these 2 words. Now, I'm still waiting for somebody to come up with the words. I haven't seen them yet. Okay? I haven't seen them yet, but they will. Oh, and Kristi Noem, I'll tell you something. She did some things. I didn't know she did all that. Yeah, she's 54 years old, though. You would think she would be, I say she's 20-something. Yeah. Hey, Charlie Kirk was a smart man, but Charlie Kirk was actually, he was an autodidactic. He was a guy who learned on his own without the prohibitions of public education. The guy is smart. He's one. I'm just telling. The guy knows a little bit about everything he did, and people are just jealous. What's your point? You will not unring the bell. You may as well stop trying. No one is hearing that nonsense you're talking about. College is going to continue. It is. It's a ripoff. Sure, college. I mean, listen. It's a money pit. Absolutely. I got people who've been out of school for 20 years and still ain't paid off the debt. Yeah, I ain't mad at college, but it's a ripoff. Don't guarantee anything. Nothing. It don't guarantee not one jack, nothing. But all I know is you can't even go bankrupt on them, because once you get the degree, whatever. I mean, now you got to pay the debt. It's like being pregnant forever. You never get out of it. I don't care. Again, there are a lot of degrees, and I'm sure that are absolutely useless. And the field of study that I studied a little bit of was philosophy. Now, nobody needs a philosopher. I mean, nobody needs me to pass my wisdom. But when we come back, I got to take my milk break right quick. I don't care what he said. I love milk. I'm going to get me some. Going to get me a big glass right now. And we'll come back with those 2 words that nobody knows. Nobody knows what those 2 words are. When we come back, I shall tell you. Okay, so don't hang loose. I'll be right back right after these words. Hang loose. We'll be right back. Really, I will be right back.
You are still here, time to get busy living.
All right. All right then. You know, does anybody out there know what the word pragmatist means? Don, I had enough, Don. We done. Call me back. Call me Tuesday. I'm gonna make sure I get your name put back on the thing. But enough calls for one man. So, first of all, I give you those two words. The other day, I was sitting someplace and I heard this woman whining about this particular. Oh, okay, that's good. And I'm thinking. Oh, I asked around about we did not let him. Um, why they did not let him lay in state, and evidently, since the Charlie Kirk fiasco, people started complaining about who's supposed to lay in state, right? So they changed the rules of the House of the day, and I don't know exactly but that's what brought that about. Had it not been for that, they would have, I think, let Jesse. Don, you must not have anything to do this morning.
Fix my comments, man.
Well, okay.
Hey, I got a comment on Willie Durham. Willie Durham questioned Charlie Kirk's intelligence a while ago. Did you see that?
Well, no, I didn't see that.
Charlie Kirk was worth $12 million when he was murdered. Where are you at on that scale, Willie?
All right, then. Charlie Kirk was a smart guy. I mean, I don't know why people don't want to give the guy credit. The credit, he was a smart guy, and probably one of the reasons why people didn't like him. He taught himself well in just about every subject you could think about. That man knew something. I like to say, there you go, Dr. Joe. That's what I am. I'm a pragmatist. There is a sophisticated underpinning on a lot of the subjects that we talk about on this platform. There's a sophisticated system. The apparatus is arduous and is long, but at the end of the day, there are two words that is going to define what these things are: right or wrong. So why should I go all the way through all the legalese and the convoluted parts of the apparatus if I know the answer already? Okay, all right. And now, Greg. Now I got to tell you, if you say that Jesse Jackson and the people of his generation didn't have a right to want to retaliate against people who did us wrong, then you would be wrong. Yeah, it may not have been the best thing to do, but there are a lot of things that happened to people in his generation and my mother's generation that wasn't right either. Okay? I'm just saying, if we'll never, ever get out of this subject, because we'll never ever as a group of people realize that, admit that there were some people who had done wrong, and some of those people are still alive today. It's not like the Civil War when Abraham Lincoln is gone 150 years ago. Those things are gone, but we still have people right down here in the good old South who went through hell here. So if Jesse Jackson spit in somebody's food, so be it. The way they spit on them, the way they beat them and hurt them and denied them the opportunities that I have so taken advantage of it. Yeah. I don't care. Okay then. Good morning.
I don't want to make this the Don show, Kevin, but if you go back and read my comments, I did not question Charlie Kirk's intelligence. What I asked you was, he really one of the smartest people you knew? So I was asking more, Would you say Stephen Reed is one of the most smartest people you ever met, Kevin?
Well, I don't. Well, I mean, listen, you don't go to Morehouse and Vanderbilt and be stupid. So that's yeah. I mean, I think he's a smart kid. Yeah.
But what I'm asking is though, would you say? I mean, he's been on your show several times. You've
Right.
been on his. Would you, but like you said, his credentials?
Right.
Would you say he's one of the smartest?
Yeah.
Have you ever made that statement?
No, I haven't. But see, I don't know. I know that Kirk had a birth of knowing knowledge about many things.
Yeah,
That
that's not what I'm asking though. I'm just saying though, have you ever felt the need to say Stephen Reed is one of the smartest people I've ever met?
Well, the only reason why Charlie Kirk impresses me because his education came from being self-taught, all of it.
Yeah, I'm not debating that fact.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, you know, I didn't question Kirk's intelligence.
Mhm.
I questioned your statement of he's one of the smartest people that you have known. That was the statement, not Mr. Kirk's intelligence. Because I would ask you, have you ever made the statement that, man, Stephen Reed is one of the smartest people after talking to him and being around him? He's one of the smartest people I've ever met. That's the difference.
Hmm. Okay.
And I would say that, you know, based off what you said,
Mhm.
Morehouse, Vanderbilt, MBA. I mean, I think he's one of the smartest people I've been around.
Hmm.
So that was my question, not Mr. Kirk's intelligence.
Okay.
The fact that you said he was one of the smartest people that you have met.
And I did say
would
one
say-
of. I did say one of.
I got you, and that's why I'm asking you. Would you make the same statement about Stephen Reed?
But yeah, I would. Yeah.
That's the difference.
I mean, ever
Thank
since
you,
I
sir.
met him, ever since I met him years ago, yeah, I was impressed by him. Again, but when you try to put politics, it's just a. Whew, gotta have this another glass of milk. Charlie Kirk was opinionated, but guess what? Opinions have to have some substance to them in order for them to be taken seriously. I mean, my opinion may be that I can walk on water, but everybody knows that you ain't. But there isn't but one person in the history of mankind that had walked on water, and it wasn't Charlie. Wasn't anybody? It was Jesus Christ. So I'm just saying, just because he's got an opinionated, we all got opinions, but opinions must be predicated or based on something tangible. Because if they're not, then it's just stupidity. Okay, so there has to be a root. There's got to be a foundation for your opinion. You just can't have an opinion. Well, you can, but then you sound stupid. But you just can't have an opinion because you want an opinion. That opinion has to be based on something. And Charlie Kirk's opinions most of the time were based on some logical and reasonable conclusions that I listen to. I listen to him all the time. And it was just remarkable that a man, and then I found he didn't go to college. He didn't need to. There's a word, I think it's called autodidactic, where, listen, I agree with you. Opinion is an opinion, not facts, but opinions need to be based on facts. To be taken seriously, an opinion needs to be based on facts. Okay. Do you disagree with that, John? Okay. I ain't talking about the opinion, but that opinion must have some foundation. Okay. It must stick within the lines of reality. Okay. So I have anything to do. We all are opinionated. Okay. I mean, we all are, wrong color could not make that. And that is not true. I mean, a lot of, as a matter of fact, the young man a few minutes ago that I just showed you on the screen, the Smith young man who is headed to, he works for an engineer company. He's running for office. Very intelligent young man, very smart. Okay. I notice people smarter than me right off. So there are lots of smart people. Okay, there are a lot of smart people. But here's the question. Let me ask you guys: what's the difference between being smart and being intelligent? What's the difference? Charlie Kirk was a dropout. And where was he a bigot at? Where was he a bigot? I mean, it's easy to make statements about it. Give me the proof. I've listened to over 100 and some of his speeches. Give me the proof where he was. First of all, we all are bigots. Every last one of us, we won't tolerate certain things that we don't agree with. That's all a bigot means, is that you are differential to a particular status or particular opinion than the other folks are. We all are bigots. Okay. Now, do I need to get the word bigot up here again and show you what it means? Okay, I'm just saying. Okay. Sorry. Okay, here we go. So everybody knows what the word bigot is not a bad thing. Okay? Bigot is not necessarily a bad thing. Okay? What's that word again? Bigoted. And what does it mean? Okay? It means, okay, here's what the word bigoted. It means ostensibly or unreasonably attached to a belief, opinion, or faction in particular, or prejudice against or antagonistic toward a person or person on the basis of their membership to a particular group. We all are bigoted. Well, I ain't trying to make Charlie Kirk immoral. I'm just impressed by his ability to articulate and keep all the knowledge in his head that when he went to Oxford. I mean, listen, the guy went to Oxford and debated Oxford students. He didn't go to college. Oxford is one of the, from what I understand, it's one of the most testing colleges in the world. He went there, talking to them, and he won. He won the arguments that he had with these students at Oxford, and they're all in high society, and he won things with those guys. So he was just. Do we not want to give the guy credit for being a very, very intelligent young man? And again, there's a difference between being intelligent and being smart. Well, if you are prejudiced, you're bigoted. Okay, that's what I just gave you here. It says bigoted, ostensibly or unreasonably attached to a belief, opinion, or faction in particular, prejudiced against or antagonistic toward a person or people on the basis of their membership to a particular group. We all are bigots. Okay? Now, I don't know how much deeper I can go with this. Everybody's a bigot. It's just a matter of degrees. Well, again, listen, if you don't want to give people credit, you can come up, John, with any reason why you don't want to. You don't have to worry about it. And I'm only giving my opinion. I'm only giving my opinion, not everybody else's. Not everybody else. Okay, we're done with that. I'm done with that. I ain't got enough time left anyway. So if you don't like the guy, you didn't like the guy. Okay. But I tell you what, in 2026, in 2025, it's actually kind of nice to see people standing for what they say they believe. Okay? Not like politicians who say they believe something until they get there. Yes, sir, Joe.
You know, at some point, I'm going to call you early when I'm not doing the things that I have to do. Focus on some of these things that actually mean something. We ain't talking about Charlie Kirk no more. Charlie Kirk is gone. He's through.
But it's impressive.
Move on to Kristi Noem and her $145 million no bid contract to her buddy who formed a company 8 days before he got the contract.
Mm-hmm.
has no website, no structure. 8 days and you get $145 million contract. Now she's fired.
Yeah.
Do you not think there's some money waiting for her when she gets out of here?
Again, I don't know.
Jurors, one thing the judge tells jurors is don't abandon your common sense
Mhm.
and your life
I
experience when you
will
come
tell
into
you
a courtroom.
this. I will tell you this though, as an entrepreneur, as somebody who trying to get a comeuppance, I was told when I first went into the computer business that you may not have the computers, but go ahead and bid anyway, and therefore when you get the contract, okay.
Was it an open bid?
I guess it was. I don't know what it was, but I didn't get
Okay,
it.
well, this one wasn't.
Okay.
So it's a different ball game.
So an open bid though. This was a closed bid.
Now listen to the quietness of the conservatives. I haven't heard any conservative call in your show today.
Okay.
About
what's the
that.
difference between an open bid and the rest of them? I mean, I don't get the meat.
Open bid means there's going to be a public bidding line. I mean, it's published to the public. It's published.
Right.
All right.
Right.
So everybody knows what the contract is, what the contract entails you to do, and they ask you to bid on who can do it the best job, I guess, for the lowest amount of money.
Okay.
Okay. So you bid on it. I can do this job for that. I'm going to build this building for $10 million. Somebody else may say, well, I can build it for $8 million. Here's what I want.
Right.
Here's what I want done. All right. And someone says, well, I'll do it for 10. The person says, I can do that job for 8.
Yeah.
Somebody says, I may do it for 7.5. So it's an open bid.
Right.
Okay. When it's a closed bidding process, which generally speaking violates what we call open meetings act and something we call sunshine law.
Now you just said generally though, so that means that it doesn't.
Well, hold on. I'm doing that to make. We don't have a lot of time. I got to shrink this. So this is a 50,000 foot overview of what these things generally are, because some states will have different laws about how they do things.
Right.
So I'm not covering every state. But when I say not even what we call a non-open bid, it's simply somebody awarding you a contract. Okay.
Is that illegal?
But the law the law prevents it. Yes. Some contracts, depending on how high they are by law, have to be bid. And the whole point of doing this was to prevent cronyism.
But did she do anything illegal?
Oh yeah.
So then why haven't we heard she did something illegal?
Well, they're talking about it now. Did you not listen to Fox News? You're not hearing it.
Well, I mean, I know they don't like it.
That contract. They're asking the question now why that contract wasn't bid.
Okay.
Okay.
As the president,
that's the question. And they always start the questions before people say charges and anything like that. You got to understand the dynamic of how this Trump injustice department is working.
Let me ask a question, because I'm not a lawyer. So if the head of that agency decides to make it a closed bid or an open bid, is that up to them?
That depends on what the law says that has to be done. That depends. So they're asking her those questions. I understand them from politicians. So depending on, you could be in state X and it may not matter. Georgia may just allow, let's say, the governor to do something. And I'm not saying that's what it is. I'm just saying maybe.
Well, I'm saying in this case, though, did she have the right or the authority to make it a closed bid?
That's my understanding. No.
Okay.
She didn't have that.
But you don't know.
I don't know that. I haven't looked at the case law. No, I haven't looked at the statute.
Yeah.
No, but everything I'm hearing says that now, and nobody's saying that she did.
Okay. Well, then I think the president did the right thing.
Well, that's long. I'll say that's long overdue.
So
the question is going to be what is going to happen. But let's hypothesize this for 1 second.
Wait a minute. What happened to Biden's kid being in the places?
I'm so glad you brought that up.
Well, I don't got time to get into it now because time's up.
I know you wouldn't.
But it's time. But we'll talk about it next week. We gotta go. Time's up, folks. Time's up. Okay. Time is up. But anyway, interesting. It's always something interesting. Oh, the 2 words. I guess you got to wait till next week, and I'll tell you those 2 words, because I got kind of. I'm gonna have to learn how to stay with one thing. Okay. I'm gonna learn how to do that. My brain gets moving so fast, so I'll have to stick with something else next week. But the 2 words, I'm sticking with that. Okay. All right then. Anyway, my time is up, and I don't know about yours, but wait a minute, I gotta have my last swig of milk here. Okay then. Don't want to waste the milk, okay? Because the milk is good for the body. All right, don't want to waste it. Anyway, I'll see. I'll see you guys next week. Ooh. Well, it's been a great week. It's been a good week, and it's supposed to rain a little bit today and maybe a little bit tomorrow. But other than that, though, we ought to have a great weekend because somebody's got to feed the flowers, right? Somebody's got to feed the flowers. She committed fraud. Okay, if she committed fraud at $143 million worth of fraud, then yeah, she ought to be handled. But again, what we hear coming out of Washington D.C. rarely is the truth. So let's get to the truth of the matter. And then we'll figure it out. And I'm pretty sure it will all sort of, but they did let Biden get away with his son get away with all kinds of things. Anyway, remember this. It is not the falling that gives us strength. It is the getting up each and every time we do. Everybody falls. That doesn't mean you got to sit there. And the lesson of life today is this one. I have learned it is not how many words you use, but it is the words that you use that can make a difference. Have a great day. Have a good weekend. Don't eat too much. What's it said? Milk is only for cows. Not like milk. Anyway, have a great day. Oh, wait a minute. I got one more thing here. Oh, gosh. In 2 words. You'll get it next week. Have a great day.
Every moment filled with your warm embrace. Through valleys deep and mountains high, your faith a beacon in the sky. Every trial with lessons wrapped tight in